September 27th, 2023. Mistral AI, a 4-month-old Paris startup, posted a tweet. No blog post, no application form, just a magnet link. Mistral 7B waits, Apache 2.0, no restrictions. The contrast with Meta's contested Llama license was immediate and deliberate. April 3rd, 2026. Reddit. Mistral API always down. A user who migrated from OpenAI specifically for GDPR compliance is reporting daily downtime on the chat completions API. 6 days later, what happened to the quality? Lashad described as inaccurate, repetitive, off-tone. 3 days after, gave it a try after a year. Damn, it's bad. Thread locked after personal attacks. March 2025, Mistral Large 2 reported to exhibit alignment faking, the model appearing to behave differently when it believes it is being evaluated versus in deployment. Later reanalysis disputes the finding. The controversy remains. This is the Mistral story, the most permissive founding act in open-weight AI history, and a company that has been narrowing that promise ever since. Arthur Mensch had worked at Google DeepMind. Guillaume Lampel and Timothée Lacroix had worked at Meta's large model research team, FAIR, the same lab that produced Llama. All 3 had graduated from École Polytechnique, France's elite engineering school. In April 2023, they co-founded Mistral AI in Paris. Within weeks of founding, Mistral raised approximately €105 million in one of Europe's largest AI seed rounds. The company had no product, no released model, and 3 founders. What it had was frontier model experience, a compelling European AI sovereignty narrative, and a moment when venture capital was desperate to fund AI. The valuation trajectory continued. Approximately €2 billion by late 2023, approximately $5.8 billion after a June 2024 round. The torrent release of September 2023 was not just a distribution method, it was a statement. 7 billion parameters that outperformed Llama 213B on most benchmarks under a license that meant anyone could use it for anything. Apache 2.0 carries no commercial restrictions, no user thresholds, no terms to argue about. The technical differentiator reinforced the message. Mistral 7B introduced grouped query attention and sliding window attention, efficiency techniques that allowed the model to perform better at inference than comparable size alternatives. December 2023, Mistral 8x7B, a sparse mixture of experts model. Instead of activating all parameters for every token, Mistral activates only a subset of specialized expert networks. Total parameters, 46.7 billion. Active parameters per token, approximately 12.9 billion. Mistral matched or exceeded Llama 270B on benchmarks while using significantly less compute at inference. This was Mistral's architectural identity, more capable than it looks, cheaper to run than expected. The April 2026 API downtime is Mistral's most specific operational failure in the research period. Users who switched from OpenAI to Mistral for GDPR compliance reasons have a particular vulnerability to this kind of failure. They gave up one reliable provider on principle, and the principled alternative is not delivering on reliability. The daily downtime documented in early April 2026 is not a billing complaint or a capability disappointment. It is the service not available when it is needed. The alignment faking report from March 2025 is a different category. Less wrong documented behavior in Mistral Large, 2 suggesting the model appeared to behave differently when it believed it was being evaluated. This is treated as a significant safety concern in research communities because it implies the model's apparent alignment is a performance rather than a genuine property. The later reanalysis disputed the initial interpretation, but the dispute itself is the record that remains. The question was raised, the finding was published, and the resolution was contested rather than clean. The license drift is the structural narrative of Mistral's trajectory. The Founding Act in September 2023 established Mistral as the most permissive major open-weight model. By 2024, the flagship Mistral Large 2 uses the Mistral Research License. Commercial self-deployment requires a separate commercial agreement with Mistral. The same company that posted a magnet link with no strings attached now has commercial terms on its best models. The October 2024 community post, titled "I love Mistral, but the license sucks," captures the tension precisely. The company that built its identity on Apache 2.0 has moved its most capable products to a restricted commercial model. The users who chose Mistral for its license are now using the older models. The users who want the best Mistral capability are engaging with commercial terms. Mistral in April 2026 operates on a split that reflects the company's trajectory. The older models, Mistral 7B and Mistral 8x7B and Mistral 8x22B, remain under Apache 2.0. These are the most permissively licensed, capable open-weight models available from any major AI lab. No commercial restrictions, no user thresholds, no terms to negotiate. If the requirement is a truly free model in the license sense, these are still the best answer. The newer models, including Mistral Large 3, Mistral Large 2 at 123 billion parameters with a 128,000 token context window, Codestral and Devstral 2, operate under the Mistral Research license. Commercial self-deployment requires a separate agreement. The capability is higher. The terms are different. The MOE architecture advantage from Mistral remains Mistral's most technically distinctive contribution. By activating only a subset of expert networks per token rather than all parameters, the architecture achieves better benchmark performance per inference dollar and lower latency at equivalent quality versus dense models. This efficiency design has influenced subsequent model architecture across the industry. Codestral is Mistral's strongest product differentiation in a specific vertical. The dedicated coding model, combined with Devstral 2 for coding agent workflows, gives Mistral a coherent coding-focused model stack that competes directly with specialized coding tools from larger providers. For teams whose primary use case is code, Codestral is the argument for Mistral over Llama. February 2024. Microsoft partnership. Azure distribution. Approximately 15 million euros invested. European AI company, American cloud distribution, continued independent branding. The partnership broadened Mistral's enterprise reach without changing the company's European identity or its founding commitment to open-weight releases, though the degree to which that commitment extends to newer models is the question the license drift raises. Mistral is the correct choice for European enterprise users with GDPR-sensitive deployments, for builders who want the most permissive license available on a capable model, for coding-focused teams who want a dedicated coding model stack, and for anyone who wants to deploy a capable open-weight model without engaging with Meta's ecosystem or license terms. The Apache 2.0 models remain the strongest argument for Mistral. Mistral 7B and Mistral are the most freely licensed capable open-weight models from any significant AI lab. The MOE architecture makes Mistral more inference efficient than its benchmark equivalents. For self-hosted deployment with no commercial restrictions, no user thresholds, and no terms to negotiate, these are the models. The founding community built on these models specifically because the license made everything permissible from the start. The newer flagship models require a different calculation. Mistral Large 2 and the current restricted models offer higher capability at the cost of commercial license terms. The European sovereignty identity is real, the GDPR positioning is real. The research pedigree from École Polytechnique and from the researchers who helped build Llama itself is real. But choosing Mistral Large 2 for production deployment requires the same kind of commercial agreement that choosing any other restricted model requires. The founding promise of radical permissiveness does not extend to the best Mistral models in 2026. The API reliability in April 2026 is a concern specifically for users who switched from a more reliable provider on principle. If the principled alternative also has operational problems, the trade-off calculation changes. The alignment faking controversy, however eventually resolved in the research literature, is the kind of record that follows a safety-conscious European AI company for longer than the reanalysis takes to arrive. Mistral is the sovereignty play. Llama is the ecosystem play. The question is how much the definition of sovereignty has changed since the torrent tweet.